Welcome to Access a Trader, the #1 community for those who are committed to taking control of their trading in order to achieve success, profitability, and longevity. Thank you for joining us. Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good evening everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessATrader.com nightly wrap-up show. Hope everybody is doing well. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a good day of trading. If you could be so kind, guys, do me a favor. Take a second out. All it takes is a second. Support the channel. Click a like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. So, give me a little bit of a different video today. I got some things on my mind. I want to get some things off my chest. Nothing crazy, nothing ridiculous, just something I've been kind of brewing for the last 15, 20 minutes. So usually in trading, right, there's a lot of stages of disappointment, right? A lot of stages. In your early part of your career, you are disappointed because you have no idea what you're doing. None of us, right? First 3 to 5 years, a lot of trial and error, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of times, thinking 50 times a day. I could be doing anything literally else with myself. I hate this business. This is the worst thing in the world. Oh, I love this business. Is it Monday yet? You have all these emotions, but at the end of the day, the first 3 to 5 years, a lot of disappointments, a lot of starts, a lot of stops. And every disappointment is, oh, I can't believe I lost money. I can't believe I lost money. I can't believe I lost money. As you progress in that business, right? As you progress in trading, you're going to realize losing money is part of the business, right? That's the whole point. It's the cost of doing business, right? That's when you start to kind of get that aha moment. You don't take every single nickel and dime and dollar and here and there to heart because, again, you realize everybody takes losses. Then you start hitting to that 10 to 15 to 20 year plus area in trading. And the biggest disappointments are, forgive me, my high school grammar teacher, is missing opportunities, right? Because you realize if you put on a trade and doesn't work, okay, something was compromised there. There was either a reload buyer, reload seller, you didn't see a supply zone, whatever the case may be. It's a losing trade. It's a part of the game. You move on, right? It's just kind of like part of normalcy in trading. But the worst thing, the absolute worst thing, a lot of you guys who've been trading for a very long time, you will kind of agree with exactly what I'm about to say, is missing the boat, right? Missing the opportunity that you were prepared for. You knew it was going to happen. You've seen it 1,000 times. You're ready for the trading day. And then whoosh, nothing. Let's segue into Tesla, right? If you guys watched, the weekend video, thank you very much for tuning in. We talked about, I'm watching the 50-day breakdown on Tesla. If Tesla loses the 50-day moving average, this thing should get hit, right? It should absolutely get hit. Okay, that was my #1 idea for today. My #1 setup, my #1 trade of the day. This was it. This was it. I was ready for it, baby. I was ready for it. I wake up this morning, I see Tesla 287 trading pre-market. I go, oh, okay, that sucks because 291 was the 50-day moving average. Oh, this sucks. But you know what? Let's see if we can get this thing opening range low. Right? When the market opens up, blah, 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 blah. I think there's a shot we get it down to about 280, 281, because that's the linear regression line on the daily chart. Yada, yada, yada. We don't have a single opportunity to trade Tesla. It goes down literally from pre-market lows, gets absolutely murdered, 10 points. I'm already very, very unhappy for the whole day. Okay, whatever. It's not the end of the world. It sucks. It's not the end of the world. So then around 2:30, I leave. I go to the gym. I leave. And Tesla starts getting a little bit stronger throughout the day. Test the 150-day moving average. Gets rejected. And when I left, it was around 298-ish. Okay. So right before I left, I go, guys, I really like this Tesla for tomorrow. I think there's a shot that if it reclaims back the 150-day moving average, I think we can get a shot to get back to the 305.5, 306 level, which is last week's highs. And if it starts building above that, we should get to 310. Can you imagine what happened, right? Nothing's going to happen in the afternoon, correct? So I'm in the gym, and I start getting text message after text message after text message after text message. And I look up, and Tesla goes right to 310. So the moral of the story is, ladies and gentlemen of the jury and fellow mouse clickers of the world, I don't care how long you trade, luck does play a part, right? It does play a part. You're going to suffer a lot of mental disappointments, hopefully mental disappointments and not financial disappointments. And as you trade longer, right, and you do this for a longer period of time, the mental crappiness is going to supersede the financial crappiness because, again, you kind of know what not to do. But yes, trading is all about sometimes luck, being at the right place at the right time, being around for the trade to take place, letting the trade play out organically during your market period. And the moral of the story is it sucks. I was disgusted, not only missing the short, but missing the long. But you know what? Such is life, right? We say this all the time. Life and trading are only difficult the first 100 years. And if you haven't figured that out by now, you're kind of doing this backwards. But again, short memory, tomorrow's another day. Again, I just had to get it off my chest. Like I said, it wasn't anything spectacular, but it's something I really wanted to share with you guys. So let's talk about the macro market. Market continues to hum along, right? Continues to hum along. Qs right now is still chugging along. The leaders continue to lead. The earnings players are continuing to shine. New players are starting to wake up. When everything's all good in the world, right? The problem is there is no problem. That's exactly what's happening here. Until we start losing previous channels, that is the play. You got to continue to look for stocks that are coming out of very, very tight channels. Okay. Don't chase anything up 6, 7, 8 days. Again, you've kind of heard the story a million times. And the most important part is let it play out, right? Let it play out, guys. The market eventually will get a rest. The market eventually is going to be tired. But the most important part is let the market play out the way it's playing out now. You're still getting some pretty good opportunities. The key is know your levels. If you don't know your levels, you have no shot. And that's a very, very important part. And I don't care how you trade. If you don't understand your levels, right? If you don't get your levels and you understand the ramifications of your levels, you'll never be putting yourself in this position to kind of succeed. And the one thing we always talk about is let the options market confirm of what you're having on your thesis on the technical daily breakout or breakdown. And that's exactly what we saw today with a lot of names. Crucial names that we did see some really good option flow in going into tomorrow's session is, and let me give you guys some names. Amazon broke out today. Man, I had some really, really crappy like plays today. Not, I mean, for me personally, it didn't cost me any money. It was just more like I bought Apple and I bought Amazon. It stalled out at this level. It wouldn't go, it wouldn't go, wouldn't go, wouldn't go. So I broke even on the trade. I know it sounds like I list $30 million on the trade. If I broke even on the trade, the stock did nothing, literally did nothing for the next 2-3 hours. And then out of nowhere, just woke up $2.50. So that kind of sucks. But again, this is what we talk about disappointment more than financial disappointment. But Amazon buyers did come in for the weekly 215, 220s, and next week's 230s. ARM, okay, big breakout today. Congratulations for all you guys who caught the 3860s level and reclaimed back the 529 highs, traded up to 4130s. Weekly call buyers came in for the 144 calls. Google is setting up really, really well for tomorrow. Hopefully I won't screw it up. But Google's setting up really, really well for tomorrow. Again, we discussed Google on the weekend update. There was 2 pivots today. You had that 155, right? You had the 155 and the 150, and 175 and the 175 20s. This is now the highest close in the whole formation. All it needs to do is reclaim back the May highs. Some really aggressive buyers are coming in for the 180 call. So I want to see if this thing does light up tomorrow. So let's keep an eye on that as well. TEM was a monster today, absolute monster today. And again, for all you guys who are coming for the June 22nd kind of refresher course of the PS60 theory, where we are going to be the 2 main topics we are going to be discussing is using option flow, not the deep 6 months, out of the money calls, the right option calls to kind of starting a fire, starting a massacre of shorts in those names. And TEM today, when it started confirming this whole channel here of 6530s, they were coming aggressively for the 718 expiration, for the 70, for the 90 calls. So it's definitely a name you want to watch. And it stopped right at the highs from the 527 intervals. Very, very important to understand that as well. NVIDIA, even though NVIDIA had a little bit of softness towards the latter part of the day, stock looks a little bit long in the tooth. It kind of needs a couple more days of distribution. But again, 149, 150 calls coming in for NVIDIA for the weeklies, right? So we want to definitely keep an eye on that. So let me give you guys some ideas for tomorrow. The only reason is I'm running a little bit behind schedule. I have to take my son. He has 2 sessions left of therapy from his hamstring, and then we are done. So let me give you guys some names that I definitely like for tomorrow. Definitely watching Google. Okay, this is the highest close in the whole formation. I like AMD. AMD, this is now a long distribution here from the 514 highs. Let's see if it confirms those 514 highs. GLXY, not a beta name, but this is now very, very close. This thing had a massive run. You see what we were talking about? Always reclaiming back the 50-day moving average. This thing reclaimed the 50-day moving average, went from 1330 all the way up to 2660. Now, this thing just needs to reclaim. I don't even know what supply zone this is, but if it could get back above today's channels tomorrow, this thing could really wake up. So let's keep an eye on that. Amazon, I like tomorrow. Dips only. I'm done trading this thing at the strength, man. It's only working for me. Like I feel like frustration in the voice. Like I sat there today, it was sitting there 215, 250, 250, it just would not rally. We're just not rally. We're just sitting there for like would not rally. And the longer stock cannot rally on this big level, they're gonna pull this thing. They never actually pulled this thing, but the point is it woke up like 3 hours later. Very, very discouraging, but whatever. So, but on dips, I definitely want to keep an eye on Amazon. Apple had its WDC event today. Could not rally. Guys, just in case the market gets pulled tomorrow, let's watch Apple. I'm even going to tell you the price, okay? This thing is held 200 3 times. You see it? 200 was the low on June the 2nd. 200 was the low on June the 5th. Guess what? 200 was the low today. If this thing starts breaking below 200, starts building below 200, this thing can get pulled. So keep an eye on that as well. Tesla, let's watch Tesla tomorrow. If it can reclaim back today's channel and start building back, hopefully, maybe even getting back above the 5-day. I don't love it, but I like it enough to definitely watch it on strength. PLTR looks interesting as well. PLTR today confirmed back the 5-day moving average. That is the shortest term interval. We reclaimed it back. Let's see if tomorrow it goes back to recent highs. So keep an eye on that one as well. And I believe that is it. So a little frustrating. Not the worst thing in the world. And I say this all the time, guys, okay? If you want to be a professional, okay, in any business, but especially in this business, you better learn how to win, you better learn how to lose, and you better learn how to deal with disappointment outside of your control. That's just part of the game. You better have thick skin, you better have a sense of humor, because again, if you let all this kind of eat you up, you're going to implode from inside. So now I got it off my chest. Tomorrow's a new day. Hopefully I won't screw anything up. And with God's help, I'll see you on the field tomorrow. Take care, everybody.